everyone, and welcome back to Liz Sews. I have a quick little tutorial for you guys today on doing a gathered cup. Now, I'm sure I'm not the first person to have come up with this idea, but I'm in the middle of making this bra. I really liked how the first cup turned out, so I thought I would go ahead and turn on the camera and just show you my process, because I think it can be really valuable, especially for somebody like me who is a small cup, and it can be difficult to sort of utilize lace to its fullest potential. So this is the lace that I'm working with today. I think it's absolutely gorgeous Art Deco design. I purchased this on AliExpress. It's no longer available in black, but I think there is a white version, so I'll link that down in the description box below. So I really love this lace, but it definitely has a pretty large design on it, from these large fan motifs all the way down, and I love all of the design. So I really didn't want to cut it up a whole lot. Like I said, I am a small cup, so if I used an upper cup piece, it would probably cut it right about there, which really doesn't utilize it to its fullest potential. I could do a vertical seam down the center, but I hate trying to match up my scallops doing vertical seamed cups like that. So I came up with this method instead. So the first thing I've done is constructed a foam cup base. So I'm using the Black Beauty pattern. You can use any pattern that works for you or that you currently have fitted. So I've just done my foam base here. So I butted up my two foam pieces, sewn them together with a zigzag stitch. I've actually finished the inside of mine with some nylon hem tape, and then finished the upper edge with fold-over elastic. So that is the foam cup base. If you need some more information on foam cups and working with cut and sew foam, I've linked a video up here in the iCards above where I've done this in the past. Okay, so now that I have my foam cup base, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my lace and I'm going to find the right side of the lace, and then I'm going to pin it into place with these scallops just extending slightly over that upper edge of my cut and sew foam, so the edge that has fold-over elastic on it. So I don't actually want to be able to see any foam at all. So some of these larger sections of my lace here, I'm going to push it up past that so that you don't see the foam at all, just because those sections make it really obvious that it's not skin. So the hope is that it looks like that it's just floating on top of your skin and that there's no foam once the bra is made. So I'm pinning this into place all along the low points of the scallops, working across the neckline. Next, I'm going to take this over to my machine and I'm going to put bar tacks at all of those places where I have pins. Now, in order to do a bar tack, what I do is I set my machine to a zigzag stitch, and then I set the length all the way down to 0, so it just sort of stays in place, and the needle goes back and forth about 5 or 6 times just to secure it into place. I'm going to go ahead and use black thread on this so that it won't be so visible from the outside, but you will be able to see it from the inside on the foam. So here's what it looks like once it's tacked into place. You see that it looks almost invisible from the front side of the bra, but of course you can see those little tack marks of thread on the inside. Of course, that would be easily remedied if my foam matched my exterior material, but in this case I thought it was more important that it look good from the right side of the bra. So the next thing I want to do is start gathering the bottom around the shape of the cup. So I think it's best to sort of start in the center and pull that straight down. Now you don't want to put too much tension on it because you want to make sure that you still have the curvature of the cup, that you're not interrupting that at all. And then all I did is take a little like tuck or gather of material and then pin that into place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, working around the wire line from the center of the cup outward until I have all of that excess material sort of gathered down into place and the cup is lying smoothly. Okay, so as you probably saw in that time lapse, it does take a little bit of trial and error in removing pins, putting them back in, and making sure you get something that looks good and is lying flat. I know that I'm finished when I have sort of like a smooth flat lying edge along the sides here, and then I tried to space out my gathers evenly just along the bottom of the cup. So once you have something like this pinned into place and you're happy with how it looks, I went over to the machine and now I'm going to stitch this into place really close to the edge of the foam cup just to secure everything and make sure I can take all of these pins out. So I'm going to sew maybe like a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch, you know, just away from the cut edge of the foam cup, clearly within the seam allowance, so it's not going to be something that you'll see once the bra is finished, but that way I don't have to keep using pins, and it secures the lace firmly into place onto the cup. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch that now. So now I've sewn that lace into place just along the wire line, and you can see that black line of stitching running really close there. So once that's sewn into place, I can go ahead and trim off all of my excess. I like to do it from the inside. It's a little easier to tell where the edge of the cup should be. Now I suppose if you wanted, you could probably run a long basting stitch along this edge and gather it up that way instead of like hand pinning in those little teeny tiny tucks. I think would just give a different appearance to it, and I kind of liked the idea of having just those little bit of tucks showing in the bottom of the bra. So once you have the unit done like this with the lace attached to the cup along the wire line and the neckline edge, you can go ahead and use this just like you would your regular cup unit. So use it as one piece and just insert it into the band itself. So I've already done the first cut piece for my bra here. I inserted it in, make sure I liked how it looked before I did the second one. So now I can just go ahead and insert the second cut piece in here and continue along the bra. You do see how it allowed me to use this lace to much more fuller potential than I would have been able to otherwise, because I can get the full height of my cup in there. I don't have to worry about matching any of my scallops up along the top, and it really looks like an uninterrupted cup or piece of lace that definitely forms that nice curve around the bust shape without having any additional seam lines in there. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini tutorial on doing a gathered cup, and I'll see everyone next time. Take care.